Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Fallout New Vegas. Indeed, last episode we were trying to accomplish leveling up to level 20 through side quests. And I was trying to help the boomers, which for the sake of things that I'll explain as we go along, I had to stop that in order to accomplish something else here at Black Mountain. And for reasons that I'll also explain when we get to the correct point, I'm going to send Boone off back to the Lucky 38.
Hey, I want to thank you for bringing me to Bitter Springs. Things seem clearer now. If that's what you think. I'll make my way there.
And since we're at a quick, fast travel point, yeah, I want to, for the way I'm going to go about this, I want to tell Eddie to wait here. Got a super mutant over there. Wait, is that the friendly super mutant Neil that talked to us before? Well, definitely gonna leave him alone if he is. It looks like he's heading back to the little shack. But still, either way, it's best to... I'm going to attempt... My plan of action is that I'm going to stealth my way to the top. I'm going to try to stealth my way to the top. Black Mountain. Ouch. Gotta be careful because there's not just regular Sumians here, but there's also Nightkin, which, as established before, are known for using stealth boys and becoming invisible. How am I on the map? You'll have to forgive me if I seem to make a habit of turning off radios as I go by, but it's just some of the songs in the game, like for example Johnny Be Good or so, are copyrighted songs. So if I let the songs play in my video, YouTube's going to YouTube copyright strikes my video and stops it from playing in certain countries. It's already happened on a couple of my videos before, so it'll be nice to stop it in advance when and where I can. Doing good so far in stealth, but yikes. Holding a gun out kind of helps let you judge your visibility when using a stealth boy, because you can see how the gun shape or so. Oh, but still, like, it's an easy heads up as opposed to not having any indicator at all if you put your gun away. Stop. I don't even have. Because, you know, who the hell cares about being reasonable or practically stealthy when literally every single enemy is able to detect you through your invisibility, and you just get completely effed in the A by rocket launchers?
Still hanging about?
Sounds like you had enough Tabitha. What if you had some help?
Help would improve the odds. Help might just make the difference. All right, if you're good enough at what you do to meet me in the village up near the peak, we can talk further. I'll have a plan by the time I see you, if I see you. Good luck. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to get up there than it will be for me.
And with that, he takes off like a rocket. Looks like they prepared those boulder traps just in case. He's someone. In case someone tried coming up that way. Okay, where is he on the map? According to this, it says I'm practically right on top of him. For God's sake, where is he? Loud as heck. Oh, for God's sake, he didn't even get here yet.
A pleasant surprise to see you made it. I'm ready to get started if you are.
Let's do it.
Whatever you need to do, be quick about it.
Got my body. Science 60. Robot lies inert on the table, giving no indication of having worked recently or ever. A nameplate on part of the surface is cracked, edged and mostly faded, but you can still make out the faint word Rhonda. If you knew more about how robots function, you might be able to get it working again. Science 60 required. Wait. You'll quickly ascertain that the robot's current AI state is set to hibernate, likely as a self-defense mechanism after the unit suffered catastrophic damage. Whoever repaired it probably didn't know how to reset its AI. After flipping the right switch, the robot jumps to life.
Hello. Could you please direct me to Mistress Tabitha?
Sure, follow me.
Thank you very much. My internal clock says it's been 6 years, 52 days, 40 minutes, and 13 seconds since I last spoke to her. I hope she hasn't gotten lonely.
Bunch of garden gnomes. Right. launcher. And I'm overcomer.
Rhonda? Is that you?
It is, Mr. Senator. How I've missed you, sir. This stranger here fixed me up right as rain. Is he a friend of yours?
I don't know how to thank you for bringing Rhonda back to me, stranger. Here, take this. I won't be needing it anymore.
What will you do now?
I don't know. It's been so long since I lost Rhonda that I'm not sure.
Mr. Senator, we should be heading on. Our journey has been much delayed, but we can catch up if we hurry. Come along now.
Yes, Rhonda.
And with that, the super mutants in Nightkin on Black Mountain, or what's left of their numbers after I kill 2 of them, are no longer hostile. Which means that we, of course, this is one of those. Hold on, let me just do this while I talk. Which of course means, as always, there's always multiple ways to do lots of quests in the game, and one of the ways to fix a lot of quests is by just killing the entire group of people that you're sent to deal with. Or you can find a different way to deal with them that doesn't involve violence, but sometimes the non-violent way is more difficult. I say that like fighting off super mutants equipped with rocket launchers and flamethrowers is easy, but you know what I mean, hopefully. I'm dumb here. 139. Fixer is an item that helps you to get rid of addictions or so. Like if you drink too much alcoholic stuff like vodka or whiskey, or you take too many of some drugs like jet or so, your character can become addicted to them or so, including mentats or so. But mentats are the only drugs that that are worth taking in the game or so, but each one has their own little benefit or so for those that want them. But still, with them out of the way, I want to come here. Huh? Tabitha came in today and said she's concerned about my safety. She says that I changed the lock on my door to require a password. Using one of the other computers I fixed. Maybe starting to regret how I fixed the nose. Password is 1234579. Like anyone who cares will ever read this. Disengage the lock. Alright, let's see what's in. Hello?
Took you long enough, so can I go now?
What do you mean took me long enough?
Sorry. I assumed the only reason you'd fight past a horde of super mutants and pick the lock on my cell is if you heard my cry for help on the radio. But maybe you're just sightseeing. So since the door's open and all, can I go now?
Who are you?
Name's Raul. Raul Alfonso Tejada. I'm the mechanic around here.
Why does your jumpsuit say Miguel?
Probably because it used to be Miguel's. Whoever he was. How about if you let me go, huh, boss?
You're the mechanic around here?
No. No, boss. I'm a prisoner of the crazy super mutant with the wig and the glasses. I was kind of hoping you were here to set me free. But maybe I'm not a pretty enough damsel for that. Huh?
Excuse the hell on me. I'm just asking a few questions. Enjoy your freedom.
Alrighty then. I'll just head out. Alone. By myself. Into the dangerous waste.
Fine, if you have such a problem being alone, do you want to tag along with me?
Anything's better than staying here. Let's go.
Raul's giving you the regular maintenance perk. And with that, we have found a new companion in the game. We're just finding companions everywhere. A ghoul named Raul.
If we run, we might still catch Benny. Well, you might. I'll just be wheezing along behind you.
Benny's kind of old news for a while. Still, tell me about yourself.
Sure, boss. What do you want to know?
Who are you?
You forget about me already, boss? You sure you didn't take a blow to the head or something? My
Elaborate.
name is Raul Alfonso Tejada.
Anything else you want to share?
Boss, usually when somebody gives you a name and nothing else, it's because that's all they want to give you.
Fine, keep your secrets. I want to ask you something. Tell us about yourself.
I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book.
How could I make the best use of your skills?
I'm not much use besides being a portable encyclopedia, really. I guess you could use me as a pack Brahmin, but my knees aren't so good anymore.
I don't believe that. You gotta have some skills.
That's nice of you to say, boss. But I'm an old man. Not much use to anybody anymore. Time was. I was a pretty good shot with a pistol. I guess I'm still half decent. These old bones aren't much use in hand-to-hand fighting, though. I can also do maintenance work on your stuff. I don't have the supplies for a real repair job, but I can keep your gear working longer.
Lots of older people are still useful to their friends and communities.
Yeah, maybe you can introduce them to me, if we find them, because I've never met one.
Let's talk about something else.
Anything to hold your attention, boss.
He likes calling you boss. But whatever. I have some questions I'd like to ask.
Questions, boss? You mean you don't know everything there is to know already?
Can you tell me... Let's get his thoughts on situations. Do you know anything about a goon named Benny wears a checkered suit, carries a big pistol?
Benny, huh? Sorry, boss. Doesn't ring a bell. Then again, my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be.
Again,
You're a veritable geyser of curiosity, boss.
did they misspell geyser there, or is that some alternate spelling that I'm not aware of? Can you tell me anything about Mr. House?
Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Raul at 22. Dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, a Mr. House rules New Vegas.
Well, there's something that just confirms our suspicions from before. He's not only a ghoul, but he's another one of those pre-war ghouls. He was alive before. He was alive around the times of the bombs dropping. You can't seriously think they're the same Mr. House.
Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows?
If you can't tell already, a lot of these questions that we're asking Raul here were, I guess we're supposed to recruit him before, like, we went after Betty or so. Anyway, maybe there's a connection. Can you remember anything else about Mr. Robert House?
I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Aburridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, Now don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits.
That's kind of creepy or weird.
It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market.
I have some other questions.
You're a veritable...
What's your take on the NCR?
They're all right, I suppose. Had a bit of a tough going there at the beginning. You know, their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war. You're a very...
Alright. How do you feel about Caesar's Legion?
I don't really have a problem with that. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around.
So we actually got at someone in defending Caesar's Legion. And they're not nice, but they bring order to an otherwise lawless areas full of cram packed with raiders.
You're a very...
Okay. Tell me about New Vegas.
It's big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war, but it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over, got the power turned back on, and got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him.
I think that's everything else for the moment. We can talk to him.
Sure, boss.
Hold on. Where was it? There's the Boomerman quest. What's with the thunder? Alright. With that, let's go back to the shack to get Eddie, and we can be on our way. Wait.
Hello? We survived out here pretty well so far without any help from the outside.
I just realized that some supplies that I want rather keep on my person, like bullets for my submachine gun, or the extra Sunset Sarsaparilla stuff. I left them with Boone when I sent them back to the Lucky 38, so... If you don't mind, I'm going to... This would be a good point. I'm going to make a cut here to go get them, and you'll see me when I'm done and I'm back, okay? Okay. Okay, I am back and I got my inventory sorted out. Now, to get to the main point, the reason why I wanted to specifically get Raul here for working on the base is specifically because wonder where that guy's in a rush to. Anyway, in order to get...
I've never seen a ghoul up close. Not sure I wanted to. Mother Pearl's instructions are clear. You can move freely around Nellis, and artillery spotters have orders not to fire on you. These are extraordinary privileges. Don't abuse them.
Mother Pearl said you had a bug problem?
Long story short, the power failed a few days ago because giant ants have tunneled into the generator room and set up a nest. I led a team down to exterminate them, but there were so many of them. We lost. 2 killed, 3 wounded. Personally, I think it's more than a savage can handle. But if you want to kill those ants and switch the power back on, feel free.
I can handle a few ants.
Sure, anyone can. But there's more than a few down there. See for yourself. One other thing. The ants must be eating gunpowder from the munitions down there, or something. They exploded when hit by a flamethrower. One of us was using a laser pistol. Same thing. Bullets seem okay, just don't hit the artillery shells. Loyal's been working on some kind of weapon to use against them. Maybe you should check with him.
Let's see if this loyal person can help us. But as I was saying, the reason why I wanted Raul in the party is because there's like, the long and the short of it is, without mincing words, is that Raul's personal side quest involves talking to very specific people in order to help him. And one of the specific people happens to be here in happens to be here with the boomers in Nellis. So and it's best to do it. And if you plan on doing this, it's best to do it before you finish the boomers. So, having said that, okay, let's go on.
I hope Pearl knows what she's doing, letting you wander around Nellis as you please.
Rachel said you were working on some kind of weapon to fight the giant ants?
I started building a sonic emitter that might do the trick, but it's useless without knowing the exact frequency that would kill the ants.
Darn it, 2 points short. Turned up to 11. Think of it as a field test, a trial run.
If you're willing to take the risk, be my guest. I've got it set to broadcast a powerful signal at 24,000 hertz. Just place it near their nest and cross your fingers. Signal's too high for people to hear, so no harm done. But it might make you feel sick to your stomach. What is it, outsider?
I'm looking for ways to make myself useful.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building? Nothing too complicated about it, but it's a long ways to walk my old bones, and there's been that ant problem over near there. You can't miss the array. It's on top of the generator building smack dab in the middle of Nellis, between the 2 runways.
Where should I look for spare parts?
Ha! If we had spare parts, do you think I'd be asking you to fix the damn things? That's rich. No, we ran out of spares a while back, and Jack and I have been doing our best to patch the arrays up as best we can. Sadly, we're at our wits' end. There have to be spare parts somewhere around the wasteland, but I just don't know where to direct you. You may have noticed we don't get out much.
Let's talk about something else.
All right, what's on your mind?
Can I get a code to the VR pods in the mess hall?
No, those aren't for outsiders to use. Leave them alone.
I'm genuinely interested in your people's history. What are the pods for?
Well, if you genuinely care so much, they're flight simulators. If you don't know our history yet, you should see Pete and get the tour. We dreamed to one day rule the skies.
Alright, I need to get going.
Bye.
That's a good thing to see, huh, boss?
What are you talking about?
That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past.
Loyal's using his years of knowledge to help his tribe. I think that's a noble goal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
What's on your mind?
Old history, boss. I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick.
Go on.
Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off.
What happened then?
About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died.
Oh, that's horrible. What happened after that?
Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home. But I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge.
And you blame yourself for this?
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that for all my skills with a pistol, I couldn't help them. Anyway, that was weighing on my mind. Thanks for letting me get it out in the open, boss.
Oh, that must have been hard. But still, that's the main point that I want to accomplish with getting Raul here. But because one of like I said, you have to bring Raul to certain people. Well, one of which is loyal. There are only 3 characters there's in the entire wasteland that can help you with Raul's quest, and you gotta bring him to all 3 of them in order to accomplish his quest. But if you complete the Boomer's quest lines before doing your Raul's quest, then Loyal will disappear, basically disappear from the game or so, in a way that if I'm not mistaken, in a way that you could still kind of access him, but I think like more or less it's like he's for most, if not all intents and purposes, disappeared out of the game in a way you can't access. So that's why it's that's why I'm kind of making a big deal out of doing it this way. I'm not screwing myself out of companion quest related content and by accidentally doing things in the wrong order. Yeah, I know, dumb.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Scrap metal, the log. Hanging like fixture for the clipboard. Damn, that scared the crap out of me. Is there anything? Restart the two array of generators and reset the main power breaker. Oh, pointing me towards that. Alright, we got things up and going. Oh, she's up there.
I see the power's back on. The ants are all dead?
Yeah, it's safe to go down there now.
Maybe Pearl is right about you, because I don't know how you pulled that off. I'll tell Loyal to send someone down to clear out the eggs and repair the generators. Good work.
Now the boomers like us. Sunshine Boogie, repair the broken. Nice. Find spare array parts. Wait, hold on, let me look at the map. Sending us all the way down. Where's Helios 1? We're near there. Hold on, I want to examine in the panel, see if I can use my repair skill by itself to fix these. There it is. Hey, Raul seems good with a race. Maybe he can help repair things. It's kind of weird noticing other characters wearing Pip-Boys. You know, if you look at the arms of some of the characters I've been talking around, but here, they've been wearing, you can catch them wearing Pip-Boys, which is usually, I don't know if this was established before, but like Pip-Boys are like usually exclusive to the little vault dwellers or so. So anyone who's seen wearing a Pip-Boy, either they themselves came from a vault, they're just it means one of three things. It's one, or maybe not three things, but at least two things. One, someone with a Pip-Boy came straight from living in a vault, or is a descendant of someone who lived in a vault. Or two, they got it from someone who is in a vault, or one of the aforementioned vault dwellers or descendants. Repair 65 or higher require to use solar array parts. Thank goodness I have 90. Repair the array without the spare parts. Repair the array to accept the working condition. Here's another one. Why is Eddie caught down there or whatever? All the broken solar arrays are repaired. Now the reason why it points you down to Helios 1 is because you would have had to go look for spare solar array parts, or had you not be able to meet the required skill check of repair 65. And I have to say, I do appreciate that they put multiple ways to pass missions, and using different skill checks or so that you can do, and passing the skill checks to complete the quest can serve as a reward for dedicating yourself to a skill, where you're not completely locked out of. But if you're unable to meet a required skill check, you're not locked out of a quest or otherwise forced to like grind for levels in order to put points into it.
Hello, outsider. Need something?
I repaired the solar arrays.
Well, how about that? Turns out you aren't completely useless working with your hands.
Okay, that was rude, you know? Yes! Level 20! Alright, see you later.
Bye!
Idolized by the boomers. Alright, I want to get my science up to 50. Get medicine. The reason why I wanted to dump a bunch of points into the medicine skills is because I just remembered the doctor that I wanted to help. Hold on, it's here somewhere. Here it is. This is the one I want. I still want to get both of these perks, but one of them, I can only get one of them now, and I have to wait till level 22 in order to get the other one. But between the two, I want to get the them's good at eating. Any living creature you kill has a 50% chance to have of the opponent healing items, thin red paste or blood sausage when looted. Seriously, those are seriously, that's some really great healing items. And everything you kill having a 50% chance of dropping in really great healing items. That's amazing. I want to go. Not only that, but also you can use thin red paste and blood sausage to create even better. Even though it never does for myself, you could create it. Use these two items to create even better healing items. What's called the thick red paste and a black sausage, respectively. But I never use them myself. But still, I think I go so far as to say that personally, this perk is practically OP, and it's definitely worth the survival 55 investment. Okay, I'm stuck. What?
I can take care of that robot problem for you. Just saying.
Leave my robot alone, please. You want me to leave your virtual stuff alone? Virtual flight simulators alone? Or please leave my... please leave my robot alone. The doctor, yeah. I forgot. I'm getting distracted. Okay, one of these is like the doctor's office. Boomer Museum. Neil's workshop. Loyal's house. Medical station. Medicine is 60, so I can heal this guy. This man's leg is severely injured and may require amputation to save him. Are you sure you want to attempt the operation? Medicine 50 or higher required. Perform the operation. Upon further examination after cleaning the leg, you realize it can be saved. You carefully remove the existing stitches, clean the wounds thoroughly, and then re-stitch the wounds closed using a much more effective procedure.
I thought that man was done for, but you brought him around.
And finally, this man appears to be severely injured. Swelling around his face and neck is interfering with his breathing. Are you sure you want to treat him? Medicine 60 or high required. Treat the patient. After carefully considering treatment options, you realize the patient is merely having a strong allergic reaction. By cleaning all wounds of ant venom and administering a steroid compound, you reduce the swelling and the patient's breathing returns to normal.
That was some fine doctoring. I could learn a thing or two from you. If I haven't said it before, outsider, let me say it now. Welcome to Nellis. Word from Pearl is that you're to be greeted as a friend.
I finished treating your patients.
Those men owe you their lives. Seems we could learn a thing or two from you savages, when it comes to medicine at least.
And with that, we got his little issue done. So, wait.
Seeing as you're a friend of ours,
I'm suffering from radiation sickness.
I can help you in exchange for stim packs.
What? Fine. You take 3.
This'll make you feel better.
Can't believe I had to buy it with stim packs.
Later.
Wait, where's my thing pointing me? My quest line.
You have done well to earn the trust of my people, child.
Well, I think I've done everything I can to help out.
I believe the time has come for you to show your value in full. The people have come to accept having you around. Find Loyal and ask him about our people's fondest dream. He will tell you what to do next.
Speak to Loyal about the Boomer's plan to raise the bomber from the bottom of Lake Mead. Yeah, I know I said this in a comment in one of my previous videos or so, but I reiterated in the video for people that don't look at the comments. Fun fact: the bomber at the bottom of Lake Mead here is actually based on something real. In real life, there's an actual bomber plane that crashed into and sunk to the bottom of Lake Mead in Nevada. I think if I remember reading it right, I believe it was 19.
I hear you're going to help us. I hope you're up for the task.
Gosh, I'm busy. I believe it was 1948, if I'm not mistaken.
Pearl sent word saying it's all right to tell you about the lady in the water.
Lady in the water? Or what's that?
A long time ago, long before the war that killed just about everything that ever lived, a bomber crashed not far from here. A bomber was a flying contraption that could drop explosives down on anything it flew over. But anyway, moving on. This bomber crashed down in Lake Mead, pretty damn near intact. When we got to Nellis, see, I found this article in a magazine all about it. There was another B-29 around here, part of a museum. Couldn't fly, but had a lot of spare parts, see? Get where I'm going? Since I was a young man, I've dreamed of raising that lady from the lake and bringing her back to life. What do you say?
How do you expect to raise a bomber from the bottom of a lake?
Simple. Attach deployable ballast to the plane and float it on up. Here is a remote detonator. Once the ballast is attached to the plane, just hit the detonator from the shore and let buoyancy handle the rest.
If it's so simple, why haven't you done it?
Maybe you don't understand. Hasn't been one of us, not a one, to set a foot outside Nellis in over 50 years. You come along with your knowledge of the outside, and it seems the time's come to raise the lady after all.
That kind of sounds like a lame excuse. No one's been outside, so you just haven't done it. Like, come on, man. Oh, whatever. Or I'll do it.
Good. Here's the deployable ballast. Go find the plane, attach the ballast, and hit the button.
Any ideas on how to get to the bottom of Lake Mead without drowning?
Might try holding your breath. If that doesn't sound good enough, talk to Jack. He was working on a rebreather once.
Jack?
I can take care of that robot problem for you. Just saying.
Stop commenting on my robot.
So you're the outsider. Lived your whole life out there, huh? Wow. I always thought you savages probably spoke a different language. But I hear you sound like us.
Loyal said you could help me breathe underwater.
I just need some parts from a pressure cooker to create a hermetic seal for the rebreather.
Corn silk, rubber hose, and removal adhesive would make a good hermetic seal.
That's a brilliant idea. I can put that together right now. Here you go. A new rebreather.
Yeah, if you... Again, skill checks help reward things. Otherwise, you have to, like do... skill checks make it easy. You have to go find a pressure cooker for them if you didn't have to... if you didn't have a science of 45. Anyway, goodbye.
See ya.
See ya. Come on. Oh, stupid console thing. Oh, it's surprisingly close to... Uh-oh, a bunch of enemies on my radar. Oh, is that Cazador? Oh crap. I do not... Never liked these enemies.
Let's dance.
Okay, bad news. I've been poisoned. Good news. I can immediately get rid of it with all the anti-venom stuff that I raw from dead legions. That's kind of one advantage of fighting the legion. You never have to worry about making your own anti-venom. You could just rob anti-venom from the corpses of all the of Legion. So we finally got our thing, thin red paste. Plus 7 HP per second in over 30 seconds. Compare that to plus 11 from a stim pack over 6 seconds. Discovered Calville Bay. Maybe not provoke them by, rushing over to them. Damn, those things are everywhere.
Okay, boss.
Sorry, I didn't know it. Cut it off. Yeah, and huh? Oh, that's a cluster of fish. I didn't notice. But still, there's the bomber. See, the rebreather lets you breathe underwater indefinitely. Not by removing the oxygen meter, but by just your oxygen meter never empties or goes down. This appears to be a good location to attach one of the deployable ballast packages. Would you like to attach to the plane? Of course. You'll have to forgive me or so. The reason why I hesitated is because, like, the beeping freaked me out. It sounds exactly like a mine beep. Turn to Loyal to let them know that the B-29 is up from the bottom of the lake. Let me just get my companions in tow and we'll be good to go.
Right behind you, boss.
Raul apparently didn't like having to being told to wait behind. I mean, but first of all, it's only just for a couple of minutes. It's calmed down. And second, I wasn't leaving him completely alone. It was only for a moment, and then he had Eddie by his side, so. Yeah, from what I remember, it's raising the, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's raising the bomber plane from the lake that made, it's completing this quest to raise the bomber plane from the lake that makes Loyal here disappear from the game, basically, and Loyal is very necessary to complete Raul's personal side quest, so it's important to do business with Raul first.
I can't believe we may see the super fortress built in my lifetime.
It's important to do Raul's side quest before you're done with Loyal here.
It's going to be a dream come true once you've raised that bomber from Lake Mead.
Boy, do I got some good news for you. Your plan worked, the plane floated up, seems to be intact.
That's tremendous. I'll transmit instructions to the robots to start packing up the plane to bring it back to Nellis.
How exactly do you plan to get the plane back here?
I just told you, the robots are going to handle it. They'll break the plane down into pieces and move it up from Colville Bay in one shot.
Are you planning to use diversionary tactics to draw their attention?
Exactly. We'll be shelling an unoccupied location in outer Vegas to get their attention elsewhere. By the time they realize they aren't under attack, the plane and the bots will be long gone. The kids wish we were shelling a real target, but Pearl thinks it's wise not to start up a war just as the lady has risen.
I think Pearl is pretty smart about that. It's better to just bomb around an unoccupied spot as a distraction than to piss someone off. Anyway, well, I'm glad to have helped.
Hey, I'd better get rolling. Jack and I have a lot of work ahead of us.
Now it's time to go talk to... This isn't the door outside. Time to go talk to Pearl now. Assuming she isn't asleep yet, considering it's the middle of the night practically.
must pay the toll to pass.
I'm just passing through.
Okay. See ya.
Kids. Oh good, she's awake.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today?
I've spoken to Loyal. The B-29 is on the way.
What you have done for us is a miracle, child. You have fulfilled the only dreams we ever had outside our walls. You are a trusted friend of us all. If there is ever a way for us to help you, child, tell me, and I will make it so.
There may be a battle in the near future at the Hoover Dam. Can you offer any assistance?
Of course, my child. After all that you have done for us, we would love to help you in the upcoming battle. After all the training in virtual reality, the young ones would relish an opportunity to put their skills to battle. We'll be there when you need us.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, I unintentionally they got the boomers to work for me in the Yes Man in the Yes Man pass away, but we'll see how things go in the future. But for now, now that we're done with the boomers, I want to. Okay, what quest am I on? Ah. Okay, I want to do... I want to deal with Raul at the moment, get his stuff out of the way. And our next person to talk to would be Cap McCarran here. Parking lot. This place used to be a parking lot. It's pretty obvious when you pay attention to it.
Hello. Howdy. What brings you back?
How long have you been stationed here?
Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us.
Have you always been with the first recon?
Used to be a ranger. One of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays.
Why did you leave the Rangers?
Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either.
How'd you manage to escape in Malpais?
Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me. So they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. I guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple of rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said.
Interesting rifle you have there, lever action, right?
I called her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action. but Gorbets reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I can hit my targets.
Goodbye.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Oh, good. Now there's an army of robots. You don't do things by halves, do you, boss?
Tell me some of your stories again.
That's what I love about you, boss. Your firm belief that one day you'll actually remember things people tell you. What do you want to hear about?
I sense some passive aggressiveness in that, Raul. Come on, man.
Got a second to talk, boss?
Oh, here we go. Sure, what's on your mind?
Meeting Corporal Sterling. Well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean, he could have retired from the service, but instead he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing?
I think it's good that he's so devoted to his duty. More people. Why the NCR had a lot of time training. He's done. He's however he can. He's harsh and so on. Probably would. I think it's good that he's so devoted to his duty. More people should act that way.
You think so, boss? Because I remember a time when a lot of people stuck to their duty no matter what. It ended with nuclear bombs falling on my hometown.
Ouch. You're talking about the Great War, or what do you remember about it?
After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick rider. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs.
Wasn't Mexico City basically annihilated in the Great War?
I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield. But it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you.
That sounds pretty bad.
You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed. For the first time since the bombs had fallen.
Wasn't it dangerous to be dressed so noticeably?
It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela.
What happened to Rafaela?
She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I let my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever.
What did you do?
I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by, and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
Ouch. Plenty of people had it rough, but I don't think Raul... I think Raul beats a lot of people. Doesn't help that being a ghoul, he's virtually immortal, well, age-wise. I mean, ghouls are no more immune to bullets than the average person, so you can kill a ghoul, well, regardless of whether or not they're sentient, like Raul or feral, but they're just immortal age-wise. You know, because one thing that something that gets me thinking is that I'm not. Wait, Red Rock Canyon. Is following me over there? Oh, oh yeah. Something. That just kind of. I don't know what I'm doing. The next stop I want to go to for him is in Novak. One thing I noticed is that sometimes people treat, you know, immortality and invincibility as being the same thing. Like treating immortality like being completely incapable of dying at all, which is what you usually define invincibility as, or so, you know. Which the last time I checked, I think invincibility was defined as like the inability to like lose or be defeated, or depending on context, it means either or unable to. I'm trying to look for stats. Invincibility can mean inability to lose or be defeated, or it can mean hold on. It can mean the inability to lose and be defeated, or it can mean being completely invulnerable against any and all. Against all damage or so, you know, things like that. But I just define, you know, immortality as being unable to age, like, or maybe not age, but just like living forever, or is immortality. It may or may not always come with like eternal youth, but like immortality is like unable to unable to age or die from aging.
What's new?
Gotta listen to his story as well. Did you do something to your leg?
Yeah, twice. Actually, the first time it was more like half my body. Knocked me out of the Rangers. This time, it's mostly just reminded me how useless I've gotten.
What happened?
A few years back, we get a tip that some Legion slavers were holed up in this burnt-out house a few clicks from where we were stationed. We get there and it's deserted. No sign anyone's been there. I mean, nothing. As we're leaving, I hear something behind me. I turn around and there's this kid, just skin and bone, and he's looking up at us and he's scared half to death. Been hiding in a closet.
What did you do?
I go to grab him out of there and I notice he's holding something in his hand. Something metal. He shuts himself back in the closet, and that's when I see the grenade he's left by my feet. They do it a lot, the Legion, using kids. They know we'll hesitate. Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down those stairs in front of the motel, just in case I got to thinking I'd put it all behind me. A few years back, we get it. Like,
What do you do here?
right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good.
NCR, right?
Was with them. That was back when my arm and leg used to work better. I still like to pretend I'm a ranger, though. I'll check in with the guys up at the station pretty regular on the ham radio. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying their respects, the smug bastards. They haven't been responding to me last couple days. I guess they got tired of hearing me talk, but it still got me a little worried. Hell, listen to me talk, like some damn mother hen.
Talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me about the Rangers.
They're the NCR's finest. A one-man platoon, each of them. You got a job where even thinking about it would scare a man senseless? That's when you bring in the Rangers. And if you see a squad of veterans, guys who are in their black armor, well, you won't find a more beautiful sight.
I think I've exhausted all the dialogue options. Goodbye.
Look out for yourself.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something?
Sure, what's on your mind?
What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy?
What do you mean, guys like Ranger Andy?
I mean, guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured.
Even after a crippling injury, guy. You didn't have to give up, you just gave it. That sounds good. Just because someone's crippled doesn't mean they're useless. All that experience is invaluable.
Yeah, I suppose you could still teach. Take a less active role in the world. That's not so bad.
Is that what you did?
Would it surprise you to know that I used to be a gun-slinging adventurer? I left everything when I left Mexico. My home, my family, my name, even my face. I know it's surprising, boss, but I wasn't always this handsome. As far as the world knows, I was Miguel, and I was okay with that. I headed north for a while, and ended up in Tucson. Not Tucson, by the way. Things were good there. Well, maybe not good, but better than Mexico City anyway. I found myself a little shack, started fixing things.
Fixing things?
Oh, sure, boss. I was always good at fixing things. Some I fixed for the town, some I fixed for other people, some I fixed just for the hell of it. It's a better way to use your hands than killing. And even then, I wasn't getting any younger or faster. I lived there for a long time, kept to myself, didn't get into any fights. Hell, the only reason I even kept my guns oiled was professional pride.
Why aren't you still there then?
Getting there, boss. I'd been in Tucson. The locals can call it Tucson all they want, but it's Tucson, damn it. About 75 years when she showed up. Prettiest thing you ever saw, boss. Maybe it was just a trick of my senile brain, but I swear she looked just like my Rafaela. Her name was Claudia. She ended up taking work at one of the brothels in town. I never went to her, of course. How could I? But I looked after her in my own way.
What happened with her?
This was a long time ago, before Caesar's Legion pacified Arizona and brought the raider tribes to heel. A tribe came into Tucson one day. More a gang, really. Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers. They were looking for bullets, and I sold some to them. I figured if I did that, they'd leave town before they tore it up too much.
But they didn't, did they?
No, boss. No, they didn't. As I was saying, I hoped they'd leave the town in peace. Instead, they decided to stop at Claudia's brothel to take the edge off. I don't know which one of them got rowdy first, but by the time I heard the screams and got my guns, it was too late. They shot up the brothel, killed 4 girls, and taken Claudia for their sport.
Did you rescue her? Did you rescue her?
I went after Dave and his brothers. They had a head start, but they slept nights. I didn't. Took me 3 days to catch up to them. Claudia was dead when I got there. They put a bullet in each of her eyes. I couldn't do anything except avenge her, just like Rafaela. I charged into the middle of their camp and started firing. 2 of them were dead before they knew I was there. The other 5, though, they shot the shit out of me. I would have died, I think, if I wasn't so full of rage.
How did you survive?
By being a meaner old cuss than the rest of them, boss. I wanted to keep living until they weren't. So I just kept shooting until they were all dead. I was in pretty bad shape in the end, though. I don't know how long I laid there, with the sun baking me and the buzzards chomping at me. Eventually, I got the strength to start moving. Some long time after that, I managed to drag my carcass back to town.
What happened then?
When I recovered, more or less anyways, I left Tucson and headed west. I ran into Tabitha at Black Mountain, and well, the rest you know. I swore I was done with the gunslinging life. I was too old, too slow, and too beat up to protect anyone anymore. I thought I was done forever, but after traveling with you, I realized I've always had my doubts.
Doubts? About what?
About whether I'm really too old to keep living the life of a gunslinger after all. And after seeing what you go through, boss, I think I am. From now on, I'll let you deal with the fighting and stick to keeping your gear working. I don't want to slow you down more than I already do.
Ah, are you kidding me? I'm 6 points short? Okay, there's different ways you can influence your companions, and Raul's quest here, he's torn between being a gunslinger, or felt like I mispronounced it the first time, and being a mechanic. And you can, and the way you talk to him when he pulls you aside to have conversations, it can influence him one way or the other. Or although you do have the, at the end here, like what I've got, you do have the chance to influence him down the other path if that's not what you want. That's not true, Raul. You're great with a gun, or great with a pistol.
I'm sure you've got a lot of ideas, boss. But how about you let me make this decision? Tell you what, I'll at least think about it for a while. Ask me about it again another time.
Hold on, do I have any... Hey. Do I have anything like alcohol or so that can... skills, speed 60. Drink the beer for charisma +2. Intake med test for add a +1 to that.
I'm sure pissing off a ruthless warlord with a tribe of fanatically devoted warriors was a good move. How could it not be? It was your idea. That's what I love about you, boss.
Hold on, let me get to the end. Here we go. That's not true, Raul. You're great with a pistol.
You think so? Well, you're the boss. Okay, I'll give it a try. But if I get killed, and if there's an afterlife, I'll haunt your ass.
Fair enough. Raul has gained the old Vaquero perk, which increases his rate of fire with revolvers and lever-action firearms by 33%. That's something that I think is funny. He dresses up like he dresses up as like a kind of stereotypical old western Mexican bandito.
Don't worry, boss. I'm sure the sudden tension in the air is just a thunderstorm.
So like, I forgot about to do with a bug stomper pulling the legs off an ant suit too well. I was doing this against insects. Regular maintenance. When Raul is the companion, the condition of weapons and armor decays more slowly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think if it's this perk initially starts at like it slows down the decay, the condition decay of your weapon and armor by 25%. But if you choose for Raul to give up his weapons and dedicate himself exclusively to being a mechanic, then it'll upgrade this particular perk to it'll go from 25% to a whopping 50%. So if you prefer, or to like, if you prefer that, you can convince, that would be a good motivation to convince Raul to become a mechanic over a gunslinger. But with that, I think this would be a really great stopping point for this video. We got done with the boomers, we met a new companion, and we got done with his side quest all in one video. So his quest is one of the easier quests, assuming of course you know in advance to do his quest before you complete the boomer. But still, and we got to level 20, which is something I've personally wanted, because now I think would be a good time as any to bring up something. Let's listen to this broadcast.
Has your life taken a turn? Do troubles beset you? Has fortune left you behind? If so, the Sierra Madre Casino, in all its glory, is inviting you to begin again. Come to a place where wealth, excitement, and intrigue await around every corner. Stroll along the winding streets of our beautiful resort, make new friends, or rekindle old flames. Let your eyes take in the luxurious expanse of the open desert under clear, starlit skies. Gaze straight on into the sunset from our villa rooftops. Countless diversions await. Gamble in our casino, take in the theater, or stay in one of our exclusive executive suites that will shelter you and cater to your every whim. So if life's worries have weighed you down, if you need an escape from your troubles, or if you just need an opportunity to begin again, join us. Let go and leave the world behind at the Sierra Madre grand opening this October. We'll be waiting. Has your life...
And as an extra bonus, I'm going to throw in this second one here.
Howdy. My name is Jed Masterson, and I'm a caravan boss for the Happy Trails Caravan Company. If you're hearing this, I have a job offer for you. Happy Trails is organizing an expedition north into Utah, off the Long 15, and we need people. We're looking for caravan guards, prospectors, couriers. If you're used to humping it across the waste, straight toward trouble, we want you. If you got a pip boy, we want you. On the other hand, if you're a greenhorn or a city slicker spinning tales about your skills, you can kindly go hang. If we like your gumption, we'll pay you square and treat you fair. Find me, Jed Masterson, at the Northern Passage if you're interested. Luck to you. Howdy.
And with that, I want it to leave the decision to you. Do we follow the Sierra Madre broadcast and explore that first? Or do we work towards the Happy Trails Expedition? Or do we follow this broadcast and work with the Happy Trails Expedition? Which one do you think? Track down the source of the Sierra Madre invitation, or find the Happy Trails Caravan Master? Tell me down in the comment. This is where we're going to start getting into the DLC content. And for the first two, the Sierra Madre and the Happy Trails, I want to leave the choice up to you which one we do first and which one we do second. The other two, there's a particular order that I'm going to do the other two in, but I would like to at least leave the choice of the first two here up to you, because I think you're supposed to do the DLC stuff in the order they were released in, which would be the Sierra Madre, the Happy Trails one, the Midnight Science Fiction Theater, and then the reunion. That would be the original order that would be the original order that they were released in, and I think the intended order that you played them in. But still, the first two at least don't really matter that much, so I would like to leave the final choice up to you guys. Which do you want to see first? The Sierra Madre grand opening or the Happy Trails? Because if you want my personal opinion, I do the Happy Trails Expedition one is kind of my least favorite of them all. Not that it's bad, it's still good in its own right, but between the four, it's kind of my least favorite. But this isn't about what I think. I'm asking you guys what you want to see first and second. So with that done, and you know what the comment section is I want to hear what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. This has been Fallout New Vegas. And next time we're going to be, depending on what I get in the comments, we'll be starting on the DLC quest now that I finally reached the proper levels. But until then, I will see you guys around.